Hello, 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 YouTube friends and family and stampers. You do not know what I just went through to get here, y'all. Anyway, I'm excited to be here with you guys. It feels like it's been forever since I've stamped with you guys. So I'm totally excited to be here. If you're on with me, pop on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if you're stamping with me. That would be awesome. I am Caron Bailey. I am your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, hailing from Austin, Texas, on this Thursday evening for another episode of Chat and Catty. Again, you guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for spending a little bit of your time with me today as we chat and case the caddy. Okay, so as always, we try to take care of those admin things up front. So anything that you see me demonstrating tonight, please take a minute, go to my website, www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. And please use the host code if you're going to shop for anything tonight that you see. And the host code for the month is V Victor, Q Quebec, J Juliet, 4 N Nancy, 4 H Hotel, and G Golf. You guys, if you're going to spend anything more than $149, please do not use this host code. Get in touch with me, and I will make sure that you get all the hostess benefits that you should be getting for using your own hostess code. Don't forget, we implemented last month the free gift with purchase. So we will be doing that again this month. For a $50 purchase that you make, you will get a free gift. I haven't decided what I'm giving this month. I haven't decided what I'm giving yet this month, but it'll be something nice. Okay, so I feel like I haven't been here in a long time. I think I've said that, right? But you guys, let me just tell you a little bit about my life story, okay? I'm taking 3 classes. I started a new job in January, so I'm getting through with that. I do the Stampin' Up! Stuff. I am a Mary Kay consultant. I love to cook. I have my dogs. I got my home life. So I am pretty darn busy. So last week was exams, and then we had, I think it was weather last week. There was power flickering and going on in here. Anyway, so, and then tonight, for whatever reason, my computer where I would stream you live from is telling me I have no internet connection. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Everything else in this house is connected to the internet and working, except my computer. So we have to launch from my iPad, which is where I'm talking to you from. So pardon me if I can't do a lot of stuff. Either way, thanks for joining. I want to try to cover 3 cards tonight. So we're going to get started. But before I forget, guys, let me take a minute, okay, you guys? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you pop out for a minute and you share this video with your friends, please make a note and come back and tell me that you shared. That way, when I make my cards, I always try to give them away to people that have shared my video. And subscribed to my channel. I also have a big goal, you guys. I had set a goal to hit 300 subscribers by March 15th. It is, what is today? Today is March 9th. That means in 6 days, we have got a lot of ground to cover. I am at 122 subscribers. That means I need to get to 100. I need to get 178 subscribers in the next 6 days. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh my gosh, I got some big giveaways if we do. All right, so let's get started. Let me share with you. So the mini catalog, as you know, well, I should tell you guys, celebration is over. We know this. And this mini catalog, y'all, is going till April. That's next month. And so does the annual catalog. The annual catalog ends next month. So start making the list, and if there's stuff that you want, set up a plan so that you can Figure out what you want, when to purchase it. But everything in this catalog, well, maybe not everything because we haven't seen the list yet. This catalog and the annual catalog will start retiring. We have some in colors that will be retiring. Let me pull these in colors. The Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, Fresh Freesia, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen. Guys, these 5 colors will be retiring in April. And guess what? Stampin' Up! Has indicated that there's going to be a color refresh. Okay, you know what a color refresh is? A color refresh is depending on what we now know of as the neutrals, the royals. There's going to be colors that's either going into or coming out of that palette, so that it'll be refreshed 100, well, maybe not 100%, but we can't wait. I don't know the colors, but I can tell you that I know that the boho blue is coming back, because they told us that. Pretty Peacock is coming back. So whether that's going to be part of those 2 colors we know are coming back, so they'll probably be part of the refresh in some way, shape, or form. Now, when 5 colors go out, that means there's 5 new colors that's gonna come back in. Stay tuned. Stampin' Up! Typically starts giving clues in terms of trying to guess what the color names are, and I'll share those with you so that you can join in the excitement. It's an awesome time to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, to be in on that kind of excitement. All right. Page 64 of the annual catalog is where we can find the star of tonight's show, and that is the Picturesque excuse me, photopolymer stamp set. Okay, y'all, this was one of the very first stamp sets that I purchased, and I have yet to put a little bit of ink on it, so we are definitely going to do that tonight. So here's the stamp set. I don't know if you can see it there. It's 10 photopolymer sets, and these stamps and sentiments that are involved. Difficult roads bring you to beautiful destinations. Love knows no boundaries. Hello, just because. Press on, and then you can build scenes. So that's what I love about this set, is about scene building. I love all of the scene building stamp sets. Now, because I want to try to get all 3 cards done tonight, I've gone ahead and I've pre-done a lot, some of the work. Some will have to do, but I have gone ahead and done some of the work. Let me share with you too, as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you guys, all the images in the catalog, Stampin' Up! Puts out what's called the sample sheets. And truth in lending, when I printed them in black and white. And what Stampin' Up! Does is tell you the products that they're used. They don't tell you the cuts. They don't tell you any of that stuff. That's stuff that we are coming up with as we go along. But you know exactly what's being used and whatever technique Stampin' Up! Is trying to demonstrate in that particular set. So let's get started with the very first card, and it's going to be this one right here. And Stampin' Up! Tells us that the technique that we're going to be focusing on here is Stampin' Off, okay, which is another word for another term for second generation stamping. Okay, so let's get started. I've already pre-cut a lot of this stuff, so let me tell you what I saw when I cut, and then we can go from there. Where did I put them? Y'all, that's the problem with Caron, okay, and trying to be organized. Okay. So, seriously, what did they, oh, there they are. There they are. So in this first card, we are using Garden Green as our card base. I am using a piece of the Enjoy the Moment designer series paper. And if you were lucky enough to catch this while it was on Celebration and get it as one of your free items, great. If not, it is still part of the January to June mini as part of the Enjoy the Journey bundle. So this one, and then I cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. My card base, as always, is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And then I used a piece, and this is shimmery white. And I believe I cut these at 3. Well, let me tell you exactly what I cut it at, because I can tell you that. I think I cut it at 3 1/4 by 4. Right? So it's 4 by 3 1/4. Yep, that's exactly what I did. And I did the same with the Balmy blue as well. So 2 pieces of cardstock shimmery white and Balmy blue, both cut at 3 1/4 by 4. And so I guess we can pretty much go ahead and get this all set up. All right, because here we go. We have our card base. We're going to cut and score and burnish our folds like we always do. If I can find my phone folder. You know, the thing about cleaning my desk just before I do live is that I move things all over the place and then I can't find them. But it's here somewhere. Fortunately, I can't find it. So we're going to grab a bone folder, burnish our fold. I know I have the other one set up. I don't know that anybody's joining me tonight. Let me set that aside. And what I did with this was I cut a coordinating piece of basic white cardstock, and I cut that to 4 by 5 1/4 as well. Okay. Go in with my liquid glue. Tell you, I think something's going on with my my Zoom. I get my Zoom through my Mary Kay business. And lately I've just been having a lot of trouble with it, and I don't know why. But I got to figure that out, because we have got, what do we have coming up? We have our designer series paper workshop for March. Can't wait to get to that one. That's on the 17th at 7 p.m. And that's where you just grab your designer series paper, whichever one that you happen to have, or ones, because you can do more than one. And I have layouts drawn up, and we just get together and we make as many cards as we can get through in that space of time, that we can create different patterns for that event. Then I have my Stampin' Sip class, which is on the 19th of the month. It's on a Sunday. Just had, there we go. And I'm going to use this green ribbon from the Fan Baker's Twine. And this is it comes in a 3-pack. I just had 2 of them, so I put them in one envelope. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. I'm hoping somebody found me live. Give me a minute, you guys. Let me go ahead and try to share this video so that I can have some folks come and join me. Join us right here. Awesome. Oh, where's my Zoom? Am I still live, y'all? All righty, there I am. Perfect. All righty. So maybe we'll have some folks come in so we can have the chat part of chatting Catty. I never can find the ends of these things, and I always make a mess. Does anybody know of an easy way to find the tail end of ribbon? I never know how to find it, and then I end up, oh, I wish they would make it easy for me. See, I cut something off, but it's not an end. That's the problem right there. I think one more good wrap. But anyway, my it's showing that on my computer that I don't have any internet. And I'm like, well, one, my entire house is dependent upon the internet. When I say my entire house, I stream TV, so I have to have internet to do that. Oh, this is nuts. And so I just watched the first Creed. Y'all, this is a pain in my butt. And I really don't want to do that. But I just can't find. Oh, here we go. I just don't know how to find the. I know. I don't want to spend the entire time with you trying to find the end here, but it seems like that's what I'm going to try to be doing here. This is nuts. All right, I'm just going to cut a piece off. I don't really like to do that. Why? Because I'm probably going to cut off something that's not enough, or something that is way too much, because that's just how life works, right? Anyway, we want to try to wrap twice around here. See, we cut too much. Excuse me. Hope I'm not catching cold. I have been coughing all day. So all I'm going to try to do is wrap a couple of times. Like that. And I want my bow to be kind of sort of more towards the end, the side here. And then I gotta try to remember to, you guys know that tying bows is one of the things that frustrates me more than almost anything else in the world. But tying bow with twine is even more challenging for me. See, it's a mess. But I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna get it. And because ribbon frustrates me so much, I try to make sure that I do it, because I can only get better if I continue to do it. And really, honestly and truly, you guys, ribbon frustrates me. I can never get it to do what I want it to do when I want it to do it. So Just gonna tie that right there. Move this back into place like that, and then just do my bow. I already know that it's hi. Some folks are watching. Thank you for joining me. Who's watching with me tonight? Please introduce yourself. Let me know who you are, where you're watching me from. Here we go. All right, and I'm not gonna mess with the length of the bowls and the legs yet. I need to see what I'm gonna do before I all right, so there's this, and then we need, where's my blue? Right here. Now's the fun part. All right, so I think I see, let's see, what colors does it tell us that we want to use in here? So the inks that we're going to use, garden green. Oh, that's it, garden green and balmy blue. Okay. Well, let's grab our garden green and our balmy blue. Hey, Cheryl. Awesome. Hey, Kathy. All right, garden green and balmy blue are our colors. And again, don't forget, like, just the exercise, that the technique that we're going to be working with tonight is Stampin' Up, or at least on this card is Stampin' Up. Hey Val, how are you? Yes, I had to stream from my laptop, and unfortunately I don't have as many options from my laptop as I have from my tablet or from my computer. It won't let me like go through everything that I've saved, so I had to go live directly from oh my gosh, from YouTube, directly to YouTube. So, oh, it is beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to figure this out, right? So does anybody, either of you guys have this stamp set? All right, so I know in the greens, we are going to need this image right here. Let's put this on a block. And I need this one. Well, I need a bigger block for this one. I need a D block, I think. Or do I need bigger than a D block? Yeah, I think I need bigger than a D block. Yep, I need bigger than a D block. Hold on. Oh. Wow, I really need a big one. I have a drawer full of acrylic blocks. This will work. So we're going to use this one. And this one, if you look at the image, you'll see this one is full strength. So I see it also has one of the other images, and that one is the one that's going to be stamped off. So I know this one needs to be full strength. And the other image that we're looking for, I think, is this one right here. Yeah, it's got to be that one. No, that's two different ones. I think we just need this one. Oh, that's the fun of this guy, is making sure things are correct. So I need to grab me some scrap paper and make sure that I know what I'm doing. Ha ha ha. And then this one is at the top. All right. So I know we're going to use these 3 images. Let's put the rest of it aside. And I'm going to grab another scrap piece of paper because I need to make sure I know how to line up these images. So what we're using is our darker green. But I know that I have to stamp this guy first. And I think this is how, yeah, that's how that lays in there. So when I stamp it full strength on this side, and then stamped off on this side, oh, that is exactly how it's supposed to be. And then this guy, I didn't condition my stamp, so stamping it this way is perfect. Oh, all right, and then let's see how we line this up. I think this is how we line it up. That has to be just like that, I think. So this, I think this can come up a little bit more. I think that's how it needs to be. All right, we're gonna try it we're gonna try it another time, just to make sure that we have it right. Another piece of scrap paper. And I'm gonna stamp off. And I'm gonna stamp on. And then I'm gonna go full strength, making sure I know how to line this up before I stamp on my shimmery white. I'm trying to see the points for lining them up. Oh, there you go. All right, I'll have to show you because I found the points of connection. I think I did anyway. Oh yeah. So if you'll look, I'll have to show you. You're going to use these lower elements to line it up with the elements on the bottom, for it to sit in perfectly. And then also the same thing over here. This little point right here, let me get my big red fingers out of there. So when you line it up and you're looking through the photopolymer, make sure that this little point kind of lands in here. Make sure this piece lands in here, and then everything should line up. So that's how I'm seeing, I just figured that part out. So we can go ahead now with our shimmery white, and let's get started. But I think I'm gonna do this on the reverse this time. What do I mean when I say on the reverse? I'm gonna stamp this guy first. Right? Layer, line it up, stamp, and press. Make sure we have good transfer. I know I have just about almost all of Stampin' Up, if not all of Stampin' Up scene building sets. I just love them. Now, do I use them as often as I should or I could? Probably not, but I love them. All right, so we've stamped off. And now here's where we're gonna, remember I'm telling you to try to line this part up and this part up, and you're gonna line them up here and here, and then this point should land in here once everything is lined up. Okay. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. Ha ha ha. Perfect. Do you see? This practice makes perfect. Yes. Okay. So that's there. And then we're going to go in with this. And I think this is like the cloud, a skyline. And this is also going to be stamped off. So we've got that. Let's condition it just a little bit. And then we're going to stamp off. And then line everybody up. And here we go. We just got our scene right there. Cool beans. All right. Let's put this aside for now. Let's bring this back in to see where we've got. We've done all of this. And so now we're going to mat this on this. And it's going to be a little cattywampus, just a little. I don't know where I came up with that word. Somebody said it to me one time, and I'm like, what the hell is cattywampus? What is cattywampus, right? But it means it's a little off kilter, right? So I got that. So I'm going to put a little bit of, again, liquid glue. And I use liquid glue, like I said, because my power of lining things up is just, does not work. The good Lord missed me with that skill when he was handing it out. Okay. And so this is going to go here. And this is why I didn't trim anything yet. I just wanted to make sure I lined everything up properly first before I trimmed anything. I might have had to move something. And so I wanted to make sure everything would align properly first before I cut anything off. Okay, so I think this is how this is going to go on here. And then this is going to mount right here. All right, so let's get that part done. So then we can get rid of our, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my strips. Okay. Where are all my dimensionals? Find my strips. Okay. Well, how is that possible? Did everybody have a good week? I mean, I know the week is coming to an end. Everybody have any plans for the holiday? Or not holiday, actually it's spring break. Next week is spring break. Well, I don't, I just started my new job, and I'm not apparently, but I'm on probation 6 months. So I don't get any kind of vacation time unless it's a holiday for 6 months. So no spring breaking for me. And we are just gonna mat this like so. Making sure that's even. All right. Now we're gonna go through the process of shortening these loops because we don't need them to be that big. right? And then once we've shortened the loops, we can trim our tails. Perfect. All right. So now all we got left to do is the sentiment piece. And you guys, you know what? I think for tonight, I'm probably not going to do the sentiment because I do want to move on to the next card and get that one going. Does that sound like a plan? I can do the image, the sentiment later, and I can post that later in the image. But for now, our card, we have cased the catalog except for the sentiment. If you guys agree with that, I'll just skip that part. Ooh, knee replacement. I take it your craft room is either upstairs or downstairs, Cheryl? Oh, that has to be horrible. I remember when I was in my car accident a couple years ago, I could hardly do anything, and it was the most frustrating thing in the world. The most frustrating thing in the world. All right, so I think we did okay with this one. And like I said, I'm just going to go back and do the sentiments later. I just didn't want to, I'm not going to mess with the sentiment part tonight. I'll do that later, just so we can move on. All right, so the next one we're going to try to work on is this guy right here. And I took the liberty of die cutting this piece because this looked to me like it was, not looked like it was from the Desert Details bundle. It is, I think I put it back in here. It's this die, and I already run it through the die cutting machine, so you don't have to worry about that. And let's put everything back in place. And don't forget, you guys, we are doing our Roll of the Die YouTube hop this Sunday. I think there were 5 people that signed up. Hopefully there'll be 5 people hopping. Let me see if I can remember all of the elements that we have to use on Sunday. I know it's the subtles. I know it's monochromatic. It has to be spongy. That's 3. I can't remember the rest. I can't remember what the rest of the elements have to be. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead now and clean my stamps because we're changing color palettes completely. We're going into purples now. And so I don't want the greens to transfer. So I'm just gonna go clean these off pretty quickly. I don't remember what the other 2 elements are for Sunday. And of course, I have not made my card yet. All right, so on this second card, the creator tells me that we should be using soft suede, basic white, and then the rain or shine. No, that's not the right one. But it is, though. It says the rain or shines. Oh, that's not the one I'm working on. It is. The rain or shine specialty paper, but I don't see that anywhere here. Oh, I know where it is. It's this little strip right here. But we're not going to do that. That's for sure. Oh, well, maybe I am. I'm not sure. I might substitute something else. So let's see. And then the colors that we're using are soft suede, Flirty Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape, Fresh Freesia. Flirty Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape, and Fresh Freesia. What do you think about this color combo? Check that out. What do you think about that one? Okay, so we can clearly see what we need to do to line these up. So again, I'm going to do like I did the last time. I'm going to start with my darkest color, and that will be the Gorgeous Grape. I think I want to play with this before I do it, just to make sure. I need another piece of scrap paper. Okay, so we're going to do the Gorgeous Grape. I know, isn't that an interesting color combination? I would probably never have picked that as a color combination. The Fresh Freesia and the Gorgeous Grape, yes. I don't know about the Flirty Flamingo if I would have added that, but it is a very beautiful combination. All right, so here we go. And we're supposed to be stamping off. So we're gonna have our Gorgeous Grape. And I'm probably gonna do something with this because I'm stamping it off, right? I'm already working on the color scheme anyway, so I may just do something with it anyway. And then I'm gonna go in with, I think Fresh Freesia is what I should go in with next. And again, remember when you're lining them up to connect those points for it to line up properly. And again, it's this point, this bottom point right here that looks like a little V is going to stick right in this little notch right there. This one will stick right here. This will be right there. So use those little points. And if you have to, if you get this set, make a little notch with a Sharpie that will let you know where you need to line things up. There we go. I think that's perfect. Right? Oh, that one needed to be stamped off. So I can see, based on the image, that one needed to be stamped off. So stamp this off when I do it. And then the next one will be Flirty Flamingo. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I played with it on this one so I know exactly what I need to do. And then I'm going to see if the Flirty Flamingo needs to be stamped off as well. I'm not sure about that one. We'll see. Okay. And then just as a keynote, when you use this one, I guess it's counterintuitive because I would have used it this way, but it's meant to be with the little hole parts at the top. So I think, how am I going to line this up? What are my tells here? I know it's the sides. This may not have any tells. It doesn't, not really. It really doesn't. Oh, I wonder if my system's coming back on. And now I'm going to go in with the Flirty Flamingo, and I want to believe, I'm going to stamp it full strength here, but I believe when I'm stamping it on the project, it's got to be stamped off as well. Then I think this comes all the way down. I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. Oh, yeah. All right. So that's how that'll, okay, I figured it out. There are also key points on this stamp as well. So there, the little bumps and ridges that's on the bottom of this, I don't know if you can see it clearly in here, they will align to the bumps and ridges that's already in that set. So this is what this is kind of going to look like. The only thing I'm going to do full strength is the Gorgeous Grape. Everything else is going to be stamped off. So let's get to it, since we know what we're doing now. So I'm going to need this. There's my Gorgeous Grape right there. And again, remember, Gorgeous Grape is the only thing that I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp full strength. Have I changed anybody's mind about this set yet? I love it. I love the cards. Now, the other thing that you can do with this is from the Enjoy the Journey, the stamp set. I don't think I have that stamp set. I just had this part. Excuse me. I think that's in, I think it's in here. So if you see the Enjoy the Journey set, this guy right here, I mean, can you not see putting these images, and these are die cuts, just stamping them right in the center to create awesome scenes. So, all right, so let's get back to this. Now, all of this is not gonna, all of your stamp is not gonna fit, but that's okay. Stamp what you have and how you have it. Okay. So Gorgeous Grape. And then we did our Fresh Freesia. Let's go back to 64. I see something. I missed something, you guys. You didn't tell me this. So I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna stamp off. Because remember, Stampin' Up said this is about stamping off, right? So they want us to stamp off. Okay. And then it seems like they did it again, because I see another set of images here. I do. So that's what I see, but very lightly. Right? And then the next thing I see is this guy in Flirty Flamingo, but he's stamped off as well because he's not full strength. Okay. Stamp off. And then let's get everybody lined up, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so with it, if it has ink now, can you see right in here? These are where these trees that are already stamped, that's where you're going to use to align your stamp. Okay, I was looking for it, but I found it after I found it. Okay. And then last, I'm going to stamp my sky. And this seems to be full strength in Flirty Flamingo. I think that's our image, you guys. That's as close as I can get. I think that's it. And then, so that we don't have that plain of a card, I'm going to, there's the little bird images that's in here. I'm looking for the rest of this. There it is. These little bird images right here. We're just going to go ahead and stamp them on our background and create a little bit of interest on that side of the card. Making sure I see how they line up, and I think they line up like that. I'm going to stamp in Versamark. Give you a little bit of tone on tone-ish. It's going to take forever using these guys. The thing about this is that we know, here's what I'm going to tell you. Right? If you think about this here, so that's where it's going to be. That kind of can help you with where you need to place your background elements, because it makes no sense to stamp on the inside because it's going to be covered, right? So just think, if you're going to put this right here, then you really only need birds like there, like there, maybe here, maybe here. Turn your cardstock, because that's about what is going to happen. This is going to go there, and this is going to go back here, and one more right there. Okay. So that's one way of trying to decide where and how you need to stamp, is to just kind of put your piece right where it needs to be. All right, so we're going to put this guy right in the center. And I am looking for dimensionals. My non-Stampin' Up ones happen to be at my fingertips, so that's what I reached for, y'all. Don't kill the messenger. I don't think I fed my dogs yet. Oh my God, they must hate Mama. They must absolutely hate me. I came in and I have to get ready for, I got to get ready for going live, because, you know, and I'm glad I did tonight. I didn't realize this internet business that I have, because it's still showing that I have no internet connection on my computer. And I'm like, I'm still stumped by that, because yeah, I'm still stumped by it, because everything else, like I said, in this house is connected to the internet. So I just, oh, by the way, I just watched, has anybody seen Creed? Creed 3 is out, and I wanted to go, my sister and I are gonna go watch it next week. And I hadn't even watched the first one. So I'm on a binge. I just watched the first one. And then before Tuesday of next week, I've got to go watch Creed 2. That way when I watch the other one, I'm not so lost. I'd already seen, we saw Magic Mike the other day, so I don't know about you guys, but I've seen all of the Magic Mike shows, movies. I just think, what is his name? Channing Tatum. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. And I think he's dating Zoe Kravitz, I think is who he's dating, y'all. Okay, so again, I'm gonna let's see, what do I want to use for that? Just not feeling cutting a whole bunch of stuff tonight, I guess. Oh, that might be nice. That might be interesting. And then do the sentiment later. What do you think about this as a accent piece? This will be this strip right here. What do you guys think about this? It's a little bold, but I mean, Gorgeous Grape is bold as well. So there you have that. All right, so we're going to put this one aside until I decide what I want to do with that. And we have one more piece that we're going to make tonight. So let's put this guy away. I'm always trying to make sure that my workspace does not dwindle down to less than 6 inches, okay? And believe you me, it has a tendency to do that. All right, so we're going to need soft suede, fresh freesia, and soft succulent for the next one. Okay, so here's soft suede, fresh freesia, and soft succulent. Oh, this is a pretty combo too, y'all. That's a pretty beautiful color combo. Let me put Gorgeous Grape away. I'm sorry, Garden Green. And let me put Balmy Blue away. Give myself a little bit more space. All right. Not so bad, not so bad. We have to clean our stamps. And as we're changing our color palettes so frequently, it's just and using the same stamps to boot, it just makes more sense to make sure that you clean your stamps. That way you don't have color transfer that you may not want. All right. So on this next card, I'm just gonna freestyle stamp and then trim the paper to where I want for things to be. So starting with soft suede. There's no Stampin' Up on that one. I think I'm gonna go this way. Nah, let's just stamp it this way. So soft suede. And then we're gonna use our soft succulent for our other colors. And I'm seeing on this one, they don't use this image at all. They use this one. Oh, I didn't clean this one. And it's giving you, I don't know if you can see it, kind of gives me a little bit of an undersea. Thanks, Cheryl. I'm gonna take you up on that one. I'm probably going to trim that and use that. So this kind of gives me a little bit of the undersea vibe. So does this one. Okay, so let's clean this off before we go stick in our fresh Freesia, our Flirty Flamingo in our fresh Freesia pad. We don't want that. And hopefully I can figure out what's happening before Sunday. As you know, Sunday is our, like I told you, Sunday's our roll of the die event, and I just don't want any problems. Nobody wants problems. All right, now how dark is our Flirty Flamingo? Do you think we should stamp off on that one? Oh, they fussy cut, y'all. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to fussy. This is fussy cut out, y'all. Okay. This is fussy cut it out. Fussy cut out. So that just means let's grab another piece of cardstock. And then stamp off. And then I'm going to stamp this image, right? Like so. Right? And y'all gonna have to bear with me, okay? Because I'm gonna try to see if I can fussy cut this guy out really quickly. I'm probably not gonna do the greatest of fussy cutting here, but I am gonna do my best. So who's read any good books lately? I do. One of the things I miss about I used to work for Chicago Title, Maggie Morgan and Associates, and it was about a 30-minute drive from home to get to work without traffic, 30 to 45 minutes without traffic, right? And that would be my time where I would really, honestly and truly, I would get several chapters of my a book read. I love listening to my books on tape or my audiobooks. And so, but now, since I don't work there anymore, I work, my office or where I work is less than 5 minutes away from my house. So I really don't get a chance to enjoy my audiobooks anymore. And I love my audiobooks. I do. Ask my Sunday stamping group. I either have my Dateline NBC going on, or I'm listening to an audiobook. That's kind of just what I do. Oh, I should do that. I should do a not murder. Well, maybe murder and mayhem craft night or something. How does that sound? I love, I don't want to call them murder mysteries because that's really not what they like. I like I love those true crime shows. And I have seen, have you seen like those Facebook or YouTube or TikToks where the presenter is presenting the facts. The ones I've seen, she's doing her makeup while she's telling them about the facts of some case or the other. So I wonder if that would be something that's interesting to folks, you know, the pick a crime, and as we craft that night, we talk about the facts of that crime. Anybody else into that? I used to watch Dr. G, Medical Examiner, and Forensic Files. I love that kind of stuff. Does anybody else watch it? I love that stuff. Quite honestly, I'm amazed we don't have smarter criminals because of all these TV shows that's on. They've gotten smarter, but I still don't believe that it's unreal to me that some of them don't realize that DNA can get them in trouble. And not just DNA, but I mean, for goodness sake, the criminals that take their cell phones with them and don't turn them off, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, for real? At this point in time, don't you know about this stuff? Right? But that's just me. All right, I'm almost done fussy cutting this, you guys. I'm going to leave that bottom piece on just so that I can use it to line stuff up, but I'm probably going to trim it off at the end. Did they trim all? Yep, they trimmed it all in there. So I'm going to try to get in there, get that part trimmed out. And with this fussy cutting, I'm not trying to be perfect. So if that's what I'm thinking, I'm not. I'm just trying to get it to some degree. Okay. All right, so that's there. And the reason I cut this out was because I wanted to make sure that I could see where I needed to stamp the birds and the rest of the sky. Okay. So we did one set of birds. Let's make sure this is lined up. I think there was some birds about right here. Then I think there was some birds up here. And then we had our little sky in between. And I think I'm going to do a little third generation stamping on this one. Just to show it, just to add a little depth to the clouds. So here we'll have first generation, second generation, and third generation. Boom! All right, so now we can go ahead and we can get this guy on here and then trim our cardstock to where we need it to be, and then this will be done. I don't think Cheryl, you have never what? I looked up and I think I missed your conversation. You have never something, you said. Okay. So we got that on. I'm going to trim this guy. And then I'm going to bring that trimmer in. And get this trimmed down. Put this back. Put this back. Bring in our trimmer. Okay. So this is trimmed pretty close. I'd like to start as close as I can and then trim it down more if I need to. So then get this part trimmed off. Sometimes it's just easier to trim things once you already have them aligned. And so I'm going to make this maybe about 3 3/4. So it'll be 3 3/4 in case you're wanting to recreate this yourself. So it'll be 3 3/4 by 3. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see what 3 3/4 looks like. Okay. So we're at 3 by 3 3/4. And so now I need a piece of fresh Freesia. So that was 3. So we need this to be 3 1/4 by 4. So let's trim this to 4. I think it was 3 1/4, right? Yeah. I just went up a quarter inch bigger on each side of our image. Okay. So this is what we're going to have. The dogs are yelling at me. I don't think I mean, I gave them their treats when I walk in the house. That's the one thing I do as soon as I get in. Ah, gotcha. So at least I fed them something. They haven't had their dinner. I normally do dinner for my dogs about 7 o'clock. And so I think I'm going to stick with the enjoy the journey. And I'm going to cut a piece of, we want the darker or do we want the lighter? What do you think, the lighter or the darker? I'm not partial to either. I think the darker might work a little bit better than the lighter. Which do you think? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I know I've left a lot of the embellishments off, you guys. I know I may do that unless the embellishments and the sentiments are integral to the design or the recreate the casing. I'm probably gonna do that way. You know, like do the sentiments after. I know there's a delay, so I'm giving it a little time so you guys can tell me whether you think I should go with the light or the dark. Everybody says dark, so darker it is. I'm going to trim the darker piece down to 4 by 5 1/4. Excuse me. Then I'm just gonna mat. Oh, I didn't cut my card base. Why didn't you cut your card base, chiquitita? Well, it's not too late. All right, so score at 4 1/4. Make sure I get that cutting blade out of the way. So I'm going to score at 4 1/4 and cut at 5 1/2. Does anybody know what the subtles colors are? I will by Sunday. I know that. All right, so we got our card base that we folded and scored, and now we're going to burnish. We have got our designer paper. Ooh, this doesn't make any. Ooh, I like this. What do you think about that part? I mean, it's not mountains or anything, but I like it. I think I like this better than that. What do you guys think? Oh, I like this. I think I like this side better. I am going to go with that side. All right. So again, I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Kathy, what are you saying blushing bride for? You want me to use blushing bride somewhere? Where? Oh, the subtles. All right, so the subtles are blushing bride, petal pink, calypso coral. I know there's some greens in there. Mint macaron, I think. Soft sea foam, I think. Oops. So saffron. Yeah, because I know when I looked at it, I said to myself that I was going to do my cards. Because remember, monochromatic is one of the themes. And I said I was going to do, in my mind, I was designing around the greens. And I knew there were a couple of greens in there. I want to say Granny Apple Green, but I'm not sure. I think it is. I do want to say Granny Apple Green. All right, so we're going to line this up. Now, remember, the whole thing about casing that I find absolutely that I like is that you can case exactly, or you can use whatever the design is for like some inspiration. I mean, I'm kind of going off I'm going off script a little bit from what the designer has done, the artist has done, but it's still in the same family what I'm doing. So don't be afraid to kind of use the artist's creations for inspiration. And guys, here's another thing that you should look at, right? You may not want to recreate this card exactly like it is, but you guys, you have a layout right here, right? So if you sketch your layout, you can always go back and make another card in that layout, not those colors, but that layout, if that makes any sense what I'm saying. Right? So if I was going to design a card, I may not have all of the products here, right? For this card, but I know that I will need a card base. I'll need a matte layer. I need a DSP layer, whether I create that or not. So I can sketch it out. Hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. I know I'm breaking away from what I'm doing, but I think it's kind of important so that you know what I mean. So, you know, I say, for example, I love this card, but I don't have all of this stuff. Then I know that if I draw, right, and I know my card base is 4 by 5 1/4, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, right? So that's a given. So I know I need a matte layer, all right? That is, you can just sketch it out because you like the sketch, right? And that would probably be 4 by 5 1/4. And then you have a DSP layer that looks to be about an 1/8 of an inch less, right? So you do something to indicate that that's your DSP, right? So when you're drawing and then you let yourself know, hey, that's going to be whatever. And then you put, so you draw it out. You use your inspiration for your layout. Okay. And that was really rough. So when we see a lot of the cards that designers are creating, take a look at some of the catalogs. I'm pretty sure you'll see that it's based on something that's there. Okay. So you guys, I think, where was I? All that's missing on this one now is our ribbon and our sentiment. And again, we're doing sentiment later. So here we go with our 3 cards that we created tonight based on the Picturesque page 64 of the mini catalog. Guys, I know you guys have a whole bunch of designer series paper stashed and hoard somewhere. Join me on the 17th for my second designer series paper workshop. Last time, when you join the workshop, it is via Zoom. I do stream it and it's private. So only if you have either purchased the DSP from my store or you do the $10 fee to get into the class, do you have access to that class in perpetuity. But we get together for about 2 hours or so, and we just create different one-sheet wonders, different ways to create cards just from your design, where we let the designer series paper do its job. So join me for that. And I have taken up enough of your time, about an hour, almost an hour and a half. And I thank you for sharing your time with me, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join me right back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully my internet connection issues will be squared away. And then I'll be able to invite you into the Zoom room where we can chit and chat a little bit more. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next week. Happy stamping.